One of the first games that I ever played on the Xbox One was Watch Dogs 2, and I remember absolutely loving it. However, I never fully beat it, but today's video is not about Watch Dogs 2, as you can tell by the title. I will be playing Watch Dogs 1 instead, which to many people is a classic video game and the best in the Watch Dogs franchise. I've never played Watch Dogs 1, so this will be a brand new experience for me. Since I have already played Watch Dogs 2 on the Xbox, I went ahead and got the other Watch Dogs games on the Xbox. So instead of the platinum, I will be going for the 100%. Watch Dogs 1 has 48 achievements in total, with 38 in the base game and 10 in the Bad Blood DLC. And according to true achievements, it'll take around 50 to 60 hours to complete. So let's get into it. The game begins with a cutscene set in the Merlot Hotel in downtown Chicago, where we are introduced to the game's protagonist, Aiden Pierce, a vigilante hacker. Pierce, along with associate Damien Branks, are at the hotel as they are preparing to steal money out of the bank accounts of the patrons. As they were in the process of hacking the hotel, they are caught and Pierce aborts. During the job, Damien and Aiden's identities were compromised, and a bounty was put on both of their heads. The scene then cuts to a man named Maurice contracted to take out Aiden, where he actually ends up killing Aiden's niece in the process, while allowing Aiden and his sister to survive the accident. After this, the game fast forwards to 1 month later, where Aiden is interrogating Maurice in the basement of Wrigley Field, or in the game's case, May Stadium, and this interrogation heated up quickly. After knocking Maurice out and leaving the storage room, we met Pierce's eccentric associate, Jordy, who dealt with Maurice while Pierce attempted to escape the cops and guards at the stadium. Here, I learned the basics of stealth and hacking, and escaping wasn't too bad. After losing the cops, I got back to Pierce's hideout at a motel, where I went to sleep and got my first achievement called Hello World for taking down Maurice. Here we go. First achievement, Hello World. Take down Maurice. After waking up, I caught a couple in the act. Hey, yo, getting freaky at the motel. And learned the basics of profiling, and this didn't go smoothly.
Yeah, what do you want? Damn, he spotted me.
Oh, God.
I can't exactly take him down over a threatening text.
Oh, that's not ideal. After this, I traveled to Aiden's sister's house to celebrate Aiden's nephew, Jackson's birthday. Here, Nicole got a strange phone call from someone threatening her life. After hacking the call and listening in, it turns out the caller was in a car across the street, so I tracked him down, and he was actually pretty fast. Oh yeah, where do you think you're going, buddy? Whoa! Can I up 5? Oh yeah. I'm catching up. Go! I can't kill him, can I? Oh, I'm so... He's done. He's cooked. Oh. Oh my God. In the middle of the street. After getting the caller's phone, Aiden enlists the help of his dead-set contact, Bad Boy 17, who helps to trace the call between Nicole's caller and the person who contracted the job. Next, Aiden breaks into a CTOS center where Bad Boy is now able to help track down the caller. After this, I learned the basics of the online hacking mode, but we'll get to this later as it'll be a trophy of its own. Next, I did a fixer contract for Jordy, where I first encountered Lucky Quinn, the head of the Chicago South Club, the game's mafia faction. Following this, Bad Boy wanted to meet in person, and it turns out that Bad Boy is actually a she.
Bad Boy 17. What the fuck, man?
Guessing that was not him. Oh.
Bad Boy 17.
Clara.
Aura. Hello. What's good? Why is she looking at me like that?
You don't look 17.
That's crazy
Do
comment.
I look like a bad boy?
That's crazy.
You look like a wild card.
That's crazy. Getting freaky.
I don't frighten you.
It's getting freaky.
Bad Boy wants to meet me, and he is a she.
Whoa.
He is a lie.
Hey, yo.
I need to trust you, Clara.
I wouldn't trust me if I were you.
It's
When we don't
getting
meet face to
freaky.
face for that.
After an interesting first encounter and some more hacking, we learned that Aiden's old associate, Damien, actually ordered the harassment of Aiden's sister. Following this, we met Damien at the Bean, or whatever this is, where he tells us that there was a third hacker at the Merlot Hotel during the initial job in the opening cutscene. Here, he also wants to become Aiden's partner again, to which Aiden declines and blames Damien for his niece's death. After this conversation, we get a call from Jordy informing us that a survivor from the stadium got arrested and is bound to reveal Aiden's identity. So, of course, we had to break into the prison. But before that, we needed to find the man looking to get this information. While attempting to take the info buyer down, I got the achievement Magic Smoke for killing 4 enemies within a single instance of focus, which is essentially slow mode. It's a trophy, right? That's 4.
Pierce, you got a sec?
Let's hear it. It's done.
Hey, there we go. That's 4. Magic smoke. I was gonna say, I was like, that has to be 4. Now it was time to break into the prison. So, after walking into jail with a gun and getting locked up, I made my way through the prison where I eventually found the snitch and stopped him from talking. After escaping prison, I get a call from Damien, who wants to meet again, and here I got the achievement Family Man for completing Act 1.
Is that you in the news?
There we go. Family Man.
Second
Complete
hacker,
Act
one
1.
job.
However, before meeting Damien, I decided to go around and unlock every CTOS tower so that I could fast travel around the map. In the process, I got the achievement bookmarked for tagging 100 enemies. What'd I do? Bookmarked. Tag 100 enemies. Okay, cool. I didn't even realize I was tagging, so nice job. And after hacking all 13 towers, I got the achievement Clear Signals. Alright, here we go. There we go. I get it. Clear signals. Thank you. I next went for another easy achievement, which required me to shoot out a tire on 15 different vehicles. 5. And 15. Hardware. Fail. That was actually one of the easiest trophies, I think. Now it's time to get back to the story. After going to meet up with Damien, it turns out that he tricked Aiden and was actually at his sister's house. After driving to her house, we confronted Damien and found out that he actually kidnapped Nicole and was holding her hostage until Aiden found a hard drive that would reveal the third hacker. Next, we had to save Jackson from fixers that were now after him. And after saving Jackson and dropping him off to his therapist, Aiden set out to find his sister's kidnappers. This leads us to some docks, and after finding the owner of a boat company, we take down the lead kidnapper and call Damien again, where he refuses to put Nicole on the phone. After this, we head back to the motel. Aiden then finds a corrupted video on the flash drive Damien gave to him. Conveniently, Clara pulls up and discovers that the video is permanently corrupted, and of course, Aiden was traced here and it gets active. After a relatively slow start to the game, this is when things really started to get interesting. Next, Claire wants to meet up near some docks across from an island which used to house a CTOS bunker, which would be an ideal hideout and would allow Aiden to stay off the grid. After investigating the area, we find out that someone seemingly still had control of the access bridge, and after tracking him down, we got to the island and found and accessed the bunker. This guy will actually make another appearance later in the video. Clara then hacked into the system and found the hard drive that Damien wants in the Rosie Fremont, which is a housing complex ran by the Viceroys. We next travel to the complex and hack into the building to shut down all of the security terminals to make infiltration easier. Back at the bunker, we access the cameras inside the complex and find the leader of the Viceroys, named Iraq, who walks out of a tightly secured room. Here we learn that Iraq seems to be working with Lucky Quinn, the leader of the Chicago South Club. And I'll go quickly over this next part as it's not too important to the story. Aiden and Clara figure out that the hard drive must be on the other side of the door, so they make a plan to get in. They plan to do this by blackmailing Iraq's cousin, who is likely to be killed next. During the process of getting him to help us, I actually got the achievement Black Hat Trick for killing 3 enemies with a single IED. Black Hat Trick. That's we're getting 3 kills with a single IED. Okay. After finally enlisting the help of Bedbug, we find a similar briefcase that Iraq used to kill one of his men. This briefcase also had a guest list for an auction, so after getting the list, Aiden looks to take the identity of one of the guests. So next we found a man named Crispin and stole his identity. After this, we are invited to a Diddy party, and no, I'm not kidding.
Mr. Quinn
What
wanted to
freak
ensure you're
stuff is gonna be
comfortable.
behind
On his
here?
behalf, we offer you a special gift. Please, enjoy as much as you like.
What is it gonna be?
You're my special gift, eh? What's your name? Poppy?
I know about you. What you do to girls.
Oh no, that's crazy.
You're not Crispin,
No.
are you?
My name is Pierce.
Got a little freaky in there. It's a Diddy party. You knew it. Now it was time to go to the auction where we can meet Iraq and scan his dog tags to get access to the secret room. And this auction was actually pretty freaky and something that I probably can't show on YouTube. But to make things short, we find Iraq and Lucky Quinn where I scan the dog tags, and they soon realize that I wasn't actually who I said I was, and Aiden's cover is blown. After escaping, Aiden gets a call from Jackson's therapist who tells him that Jackson has run away. So after tracking him down and killing all of the fixers after him, I probably gave him lifelong trauma as he saw Aiden kill literally everyone outside of the building he was hiding in. After dropping Jackson back off, it was time to continue our plan. So I next led Bedbug through the apartment and inside the room where we find a server with the hard drive. After attempting to hack the hard drive, the alarm goes off and Bedbug is confronted by Iraq. While it looked like Bedbug was dead, it turns out that Iraq actually spared him. After getting back to the bunker, Clara informs Aiden that she can't decrypt the data and that the only person who can do it is a man in ex-CTOS, Raymond Kenny. After hacking a laptop, we find out that Kenny is hiding outside of a city in a town called Pawnee. This marked the end of Act 2, and I got the achievement, Who is Raymond Kenny? What is that?
Right.
Who is Raymond Kenny? After some more hacking of signals, we find Kenny in a bar where he and Aiden participate in a drinking game, but the drinks obviously got the best of them and they started to scrap. Surprisingly, Aiden actually lost the fight and was about to get tortured by Kenny, but after giving Kenny the rundown, he agrees to help Aiden, but only after Aiden helps him with a few things like getting his van back from the local militia. After this, I actually started a side mission investigation where I traced down a serial killer. This would be one of a few investigations, but after finding the bodies of his victims and tracking him down, I got the achievement Darkness Looms.
Yeah. It's you, isn't it?
Oh, it's him.
You've been killing these women. All this trouble you went to, leaving these little exhibits for me to find. I'm not impressed. You're just another sick fuck in a city full of them. Nothing special. You just made a mistake. I can track you now. Huh. This might be our guy. I need to know for sure.
Jesus, let it go, freak.
You don't get this. I'm just getting started.
Go away.
Oh, I'll teach you. This.
I could have been killed.
No,
Thank
don't touch
you.
her.
All right, Edgar. Let's see who you are.
Yeah, Edgar. Darkness Looms. Next, Kenny needed Aiden to erase his data from the Bloom HQ so that he would be able to return to Chicago untraced. While attempting to erase Kenny's data at the HQ, we find that Damien is actually working with Bloom. Here, we hear Damien give up the location of Kenny and we race back to his hideout to save him. This was a pretty exciting section of the game as we got into a full-on shootout in a junkyard with a bunch of militia. After taking out all of the enemies, Kenny blows up the junkyard and we head back to the bunker. Here, Kenny meets Clara and Aiden decides that the next move is to infiltrate the apartment complex by himself. So after heading there head on and taking out the guards, we finally reach the room and hack the data. Here we learn that Iraq was the third hacker at the Marlot job. On the way out, we run into Iraq and get into a one-on-one shootout on the roof. And after taking out Iraq and his guards, Act 3 ended and I got the achievement 1 down, 1 to go. 1 down, 1 to go. Upon returning to the bunker, the data actually gets stolen by another hacker named Default, who reveals that Clara was actually hired to trace Aiden and Damien after the Merlot job. This forced Aiden to essentially cut ties with Clara. Now that Aiden didn't have the hard drive, he met up with Damien empty-handed. This would end up with Damien exposing Aiden's identity to the city and immediately causing Aiden to get the cops called on him. While attempting to get away from the cops, I took down my 10th vehicle and got the achievement Hard Crash. Hard Crash, what is that? Oh, perform 10 vehicle takedowns. I didn't realize that was 10, but I'll take it. Because I escaped the level 5 police chase, I also got the achievement Free Radical. Free Radical, what is that? Escape a level 5 police chase. While I was at the meeting, T-Bone found where Default lived and we tracked him down. However, he was not there and sent fixers after us. After escaping the fixers, T-Bone found out that Default is actually a DJ at a nightclub, So there, we confronted him and I was able to chase him down and get back the data. Now that our deal with Damien was off, we had to find Nicole ourselves. We eventually found her held hostage at some docks and finally saved her. In the car, she learns that Aiden is the vigilante, and Aiden sends her and Jackson away from Chicago. T-Bone then informs us that he was able to decrypt the data, and we finally learn who sent the hit on Aiden and his family. Lucky Quinn. So now it was time to take him down once and for all at where it first started, the Merlot. First, we used a camera to spy on a benefit that Quinn was hosting, and after getting past security, we finally reached Quinn, who was hiding behind a bulletproof glass wall. But he must have forgot that Aiden was a world-class hacker, so I just hacked his pacemaker, which ended up killing him once and for all. Oh. Yes, a pacemaker. That's kind of crazy. Again? Let's do it.
Quinn's dead. This is the part where I'm supposed to say I feel empty, right? I'd be lying to myself. I finally feel awake. Like I can breathe again.
After escaping the police, we get a call from Damien who tells us that Clara wanted to exchange her info for Nicole. This turned out to be a bad decision as Damien sent fixers after Clara, so we raced to Clara's location, which was at Aiden's niece's grave. But we got there too late, and we watched Clara get killed right in front of us. Damien's gotta get taken out, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she was a snitch, but no respect to her. Quite honestly, that was kind of sad, actually. After taking out the remaining fixers, I got the achievement Vengeance for completing Act 4. Vengeance. Complete Act 4. Now all that was left was to take out Damien once and for all, but it turns out that Damien completely hacked the CTOS and had control of everything in the city. But in order to get past his firewall, T-Bone created a virus that I had to install at different places across the city. This part was a bit tough as I was constantly battling the cops and the objective markers were consistently changing, so I had to find the consistent 3 locations, and after installing the virus, I could finally breach the CTOS. This breach caused a citywide blackout, revealing Damien's location at the lighthouse, and once I got there, I also encountered another old friend, and this happened.
You play a beautiful game, but sometimes you still lose. Blah, blah, blah. Jesus, you guys talk a lot.
Oh.
What are you doing here? Sorry, pal. New contract.
Whoa!
Kick it over. What? Come on, kick it over.
He's been in and out of the story this entire game. Now he wants to play main character at the end? That's insane.
Oh, you're hilarious. You know, you guys take things far too personally. That's your problem. That's why this went wrong. There's lessons to be learned here, fellas. Up, phone 2. Give it to me. Come on, hand it over.
See ya. Oh my god. That's a crazy way to end.
Wanted in those final moments.
That's a crazy way to go out. After the credits, we get a call from Jordy, who somehow survived, and he gave up Maurice's location, and of course, I had to tie up loose ends.
1, 2, 3, 5.
Ooh. 360 no scope.
I know you'd be back.
Should be getting an achievement here, I would assume. There we go. Log off. I'm guessing that's for beating the game. Complete Act 5. Yep. Now that the story was over, it's time to get into the final 24 achievements that consist of side missions, collectible, and online achievements. This was by far the longest and most tedious part of the 100%, as there were over 100 collectibles, which isn't a surprise given that Watch Dogs is a Ubisoft game, but nonetheless, let's get into it. I started off with some of the easier achievements, like communication fail, which required me to use non-lethal takedowns to stop 10 civilians from calling to report me. After, I attempted to escape a level 5 police scan, which was actually quite difficult, as I had to commit enough crimes to get to level 5 without actually engaging in a chase. This required me to use jam comms, but after a few tries, I got the achievement. Scary! Leave me alone! I think we're good.
Squad to all units, EQS scan is unable to locate the suspect.
Scan proof, that's tough. That was a tough one. Next, I collected 8 of Maurice's phones around the map, which gave me the achievement Sanity Check. Alright, that should be the last one. Sanity check, there we go. After, I completed another investigation which required me to find 9 weapon boxes around the map. This got me the achievement Saturday Night Special.
Hey, don't leave me hanging. What happened?
MIBs.
Oh, I knew it. Yes. I think we just did the cops one huge favor, my friend. Though, I guess they won't see it that way.
Tobias,
Yeah.
who's this number?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, done. I'll let you know if I hear anything else.
I got it. Saturday Night Special. After this, I decided to go for another police-related achievement. This time I had to escape 15 police scans, which wasn't too bad.
Squad to all units, EQS scan is unable to locate the suspect.
There we go. White rabbit object. That one was actually kind of fun. Now it was time for one of the more time-consuming achievements, called Geolocated, which required me to check in at all 100 hotspots around the city. This took a while, but it was actually pretty cool to explore Chicago, which isn't a city that is typically featured in video games, so I didn't really mind this adventure. Here we go. There we go. Geolocated. Took like 20 minutes to pop. Next, I did another investigation, which required me to hack into different places around the city and find briefcases to solve the human traffic investigation. Oh, they got the ops.
All units be advised all investigated target. Deprioritize current target.
Expose the buyers and shut down the auction. Best of all, Poppy and those girls are free now. They needed this win.
There we go. Revoking client privileges. The next achievement I went for was one of, if not the most tedious achievements in the base game, as I had to complete 40 fixer contracts, which were missions with different objectives, all based on driving. This took me about 4 hours, but I was able to knock it out without too much of a problem. One more. Oh. 40 out of 40. Finally. There we go. End of line. That was terrible. That might be one of the worst ones. That was so annoying and time consuming. After this, I took down my 20th criminal using the crime detection system and got the achievement Enforcer. Oh my god. Oh, I did it. Enforcer. Now I went for the people achievement. For this one, I had to hack into different buildings, which would allow me to spy on different people. This one was pretty interesting, with some privacy invasions being pretty dark to downright comedic. Hey, yo!
Well, my word.
Over. That's it. That is it. There we go. Keep full. Next, I went for the final investigation, which after would grant me 2 trophies for completing the QR code investigation and completing all investigations. For this one, I had to go around the map and scan QR codes with a camera.
And we are sending you proper compensation. We will be watching.
That should give me 2 trophies, I think. Ready or read only. Blah, blah, blah. And I think there should be another one, yeah. They call him the vigilante for doing all the investigations. So double pop right away, always nice. Similar to some of the earlier achievements, for the System Angler achievement, I had to breach 16 CTOS systems across the city. This one would actually end up being the last simple miscellaneous achievement. Alright, here we go, last one. That's it.
My name is Rose Washington.
At the bottom of my barrel.
Here we go.
Can't trust the
System
peacekeepers where they
Angler.
turn.
Next, I set out to get the Disk Space Full achievement, which is one of the rarest and most difficult achievements in the game. For this one, I had to find 23 songs across the city. However, in Watch Dogs, there were way more than 23 songs. However, the game required 23 specific songs, 3 of which had to be hacked off pedestrians, and 17 anywhere music was playing. This was completely luck-based, but after finding a guide which gave me the locations of where most of the required songs could be found, I found 22 of the 23 songs. However, the last one I needed had to be hacked from a pedestrian, and after hacking everyone I saw for the next 3 to 4 hours, I finally found the final song and earned the achievement. Oh!
I know, I'm lame.
I did it! That was the last one! Right? Yes! Yes! Finally! Oh my god.
Does Aiden Pierce fit the profile
There
of
we
a
go.
terrorist?
This space full. Very annoying. 1% of people have gotten it. I see why now. Because it was just RNG based. It was annoying. Now I went for the final 2 side mission achievements, which required me to complete every criminal convoy and gang hideout. These weren't too bad, and I got both achievements pretty easily. Oh, he got a switch on that thing. I swear to God he does. Boom. Oh my god. That was actually tough. That took a couple tries. He had a switch on that thing. Oh my god. That's it for those. Here we go. Road Rage. Another pretty rare trophy. All these collectible trophies are actually really rare. I'm not surprised. One more. Thanks. All those are done now. Nice. Immediate pop. Love to see it. Face to space. Complete every gang hideout. Doing all these missions, I finally leveled up enough to unlock every skill in the skills tree, which gave me another achievement called Freeware. Bang. Here we go. All the skills. Now done. Done. Freeware. Wow, that's actually a pretty rare one. Next, I went and played chess, poker, a shell game, spun a slot machine, and played a drinking game, which gave me the Power Cycle achievement. There we go. Power Cycle. I think that's playing all the games, so that's cool. Now it was time for the last non-multiplayer base game achievement, Social Lubricant. This was one of the more tedious achievements in the game, as I had to complete level 10 against all 3 drinking game opponents. This was easier said than done, as each drinking game had 10 different levels with 5 to 10 games in each level, which totaled to around 300 rounds of drinking games. These honestly weren't too difficult. Some levels obviously were a bit challenging, but overall it wasn't bad, just very, very tedious. But after 2.5 hours and 1 fail, I finally beat all 3 opponents at level 10. This is hurting my mind. This might actually affect me.
Just open up and see.
Oh my
Just
god.
open.
Yes. Yes. That's it. That's it. Oh my god.
That, my friend, is how it's done.
Oh, it's over.
Do it.
Social Lubricant. Horrendous. Absolutely terrible. Oh, I hated that. Absolutely hated that. Now it was finally time for multiplayer, which I was not looking forward to at all, given that this game came out in 2014, and based on my experience with older games, sometimes servers weren't too kind when it comes to multiplayer trophies. But surprisingly, I was wrong, as the Watch Dogs servers were still pretty populated. The first online achievement I went for was called hackification, which required me to invade and successfully hack 10 enemy fixers in online hacking. This was by far the hardest and most intimidating achievement, but after playing a few rounds and looking up some good hiding strategies, I got the hang of it and hacked 10 people pretty easily. Here we go. There it is. And now I'm being shot. We're good. We're good. Hackification. It was actually not as bad as I thought. That was going to be a lot harder. It was kind of fun. Not terrible at all. Next, I tried out the online tailing mode, which included 3 achievements. The first I got after completing an online tailing without being detected.
Nice. It worked out beautifully.
I did it. And there we go. Stealth cookie, very easy. And after I did this 9 more times, I got the achievement Piggyback. This mode was actually pretty fun and provided some hilarious moments. He knows. How do you know?
Easier than I expected.
Very easy. There we go. Piggyback. The last tailing based trophy actually required me to be tailed, so I hit up my friend Aaron, who's actually been an OG of this channel, and if you've followed this channel for a while, you know.
What's up, my little podcast?
Okay.
How you doing, kittens? Good boy, Aaron, aka the fucking goat, back in the fucking video, man. We're about to be rating these fucking food porn videos. This shit is awful. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, let's get to the video, bro.
Nonetheless, I must have been tailed a few times during my playthrough, as after Aaron tailed me 2 times, I got the achievement Traced. Alright. Oh, I got it. Okay. Get trailed 5 times. Thank you for your help with that one. Now, all that was left in the base game was Super Highway, which required me to complete 10 public races. I actually had the most trouble with this one, not because the races were difficult or anything, but because not many people were actually looking to play races. But thankfully, after some waiting, I found a couple of opponents and knocked out the 10 races. And of course, I won nearly every race. There we go. Super Highway. 10 online races. Now that all 38 base game achievements were completed, it was time to head into the Bad Blood DLC, which featured the story of T-Bone after he and Aiden had to go into hiding following the leak of their identities. The DLC begins with T-Bone infiltrating a Bloom building in an attempt to remove the data on him and plant a fake trail to lead his pursuers away from him. After taking out the guards throughout the building and escaping, we make it back to a silo, which is where T-Bone has set up his hideout. Once he gets back and attempts to go to sleep, he gets a call from Tobias Frewer, which is the same man who Aiden confronted in the base game to help get across the bridge to the island with the bunker. Tobias, who is ex-CTOS in Bloom, informs T-Bone that he has been captured by fixers and needs T-Bone's help in escaping. So after tracking the phone, we take out the car and drive Tobias back to the silo. Once we get back, Tobias and T-Bone agree to work together in attempting to get off of the grid. Here, T-Bone calls a woman named Sheila Billings, who is a Chicago PD detective, who gives T-Bone tips on 3 gangs around Chicago: the Fixers, the Chicago South Club, and Militia. She then sends T-Bone on a mission to knock out 2 Fixers. This introduces a new type of side mission, and eventually I would have to complete 20 side missions for each of the gangs to get 3 trophies. After completing the side mission, I head back to the silo, where I acquired a new type of gadget, an RC car. This RC car would actually help me infiltrate the Bloom Forge, which is where we would learn of what Bloom knew about T-Bone, Tobias, and Aiden. After getting past a bunch of guards, lasers, and puzzles, I shut down the system and escaped the building. This marked the end of the first act, and I got the achievement Friends in Need. Oh. Friends in Need. I think that's Act 1. Since the fixers knew about Tobias and knew that he lived in a homeless camp, we traveled there next to see if anyone was attempting to take him out. It turns out that our suspicions were right and that we found someone tailing Tobias. However, taking him out led to tons of fixers converging on our location, but I used Tobias's defense cameras and took out all the enemies. After, I followed a fixer attempting to escape and stole his data. This data led us to a construction site, and after taking out a bunch of guards and getting aboard a cargo ship, we found the name of a man that knew of the bounties on Tobias and T-Bone's head. We traced this name to an abandoned manor on some land across from the city, which was heavily guarded by fixers and police. And after taking out all of the guards, we found the man who was in bad shape. He gave us another name that would help us find answers to the bounty on our heads. So of course, after tracing his location, no one was there, or so we thought, as our target came out of nowhere and drugged us and gave Bloom our location. But thankfully, this was one of the worst fixers of all time, as after drugging us, he left me on the ground and left, so I was able to follow him to a factory where I uploaded a virus and found our culprit. Default was featured in the base game. In the video we found, Default exposed his location, so I headed there next. Before that, I got the achievement No Easy Fix for completing Act 2. Oh, No Easy Fix, I think that's Act 2. After getting to the construction site, I took out all the fixers and made my way inside the building. Here, T-Bone found the mannequins representing the 11 people who died in a blackout caused by T-Bone years ago. This had obviously been haunting T-Bone as he began to freak out. After clearing out the remaining enemies, we learned that the silo was compromised, so I raced back to save Tobias and take out the attackers. This was a bit tough, but using the traps and defenses, I was able to take out everyone. Then, in the following cutscene, we are confronted by the fixer who drugged T-Bone, and of course, Tobias comes in clutch.
Don't fucking move.
Okay. All right. All right.
Shoot him. Okay, how do you not have a gun? You're gonna let this little guy who is an idiot who oh, well then. I was gonna say, imagine he killed him with a screwdriver in his head. That would have been insane. After this, Tobias steals the fixer's phone and pretends that the fixer had completed the job and had successfully taken out T-Bone and Tobias. Now that we knew the location of Default, it was time to take him out once and for all. After making it to his underground facility and taking out some guards and leading Tobias through a maze, T-Bone enters a room where he's confronted by Default and the families of the victims who died during the blackout. Default then proceeded to release toxic gas, but again, Tobias comes in clutch and shows his phone, to which T-Bone was able to hack the ventilation system and reroute the toxic gas, killing Default in the process. This marked the end of the DLC story, and I got the achievement Pest Control for completing Act 3.
Ray!
Pest Control.
There you are.
Complete Act 3,
You
the
okay,
final
man?
act in the DLC. Now it was time to work on the 2 investigations in the DLC. Similar to the base game, these required me to go around the map and find images on buildings or different items, and after finding 5 of the items, I would have one final mission, which would then conclude the investigation. These both weren't too bad, and I was able to complete both quite quickly. There we go, looking for trouble, finished the investigations in the T-Bone DLC. Now just need to do all the other side missions. Now it's time to complete the most tedious part of the DLC. 4 of the 10 DLC achievements consisted of completing side missions similar to the one we completed at the beginning of the DLC. The first type I went for was the Fixer contracts, and I had to complete 20 Fixer side missions. In the Bad Blood DLC, there are daily contracts which can be repeated over and over. So thankfully there was an easy contract and I was able to grind out all 20 in around 45 minutes. 0.18. That's insane. Next, I went for the achievement called Full Circuit, which required me to complete 29 driving missions, and these, like the Fixer missions in the base game, were so tedious, but eventually I was able to knock out all 29 in a couple of hours. I think this is it. This is it.
While I won't say I'm a fan of your driving, you came through for me. Thanks.
There it is. 0.15, they're getting lower and lower. In the process of working on completing 20 militia contracts, I got the achievement Negative Eugenics for killing 4 enemies at once by blowing up the RC car. This one was actually quite difficult, as 4 enemies rarely gathered up side by side, but thankfully I got lucky and was able to get all 4 by blowing up cars they were taking cover behind. Come on, that's 4. Oh, I got it. Negative Eugenics. Soon after, I completed my 20th militia contract and got the achievement Second Amendment. That's it. There we go. Second Amendment. Now the last set of 20 contracts I had to do was with the Chicago South Club, and this was the same story as the previous 40 plus contracts.
Work's done, Sheila. No hitches.
That's what I like to hear.
Mob rules. It literally took me to do another one for it to pop. That's really annoying. Now, all that was left was to complete 10 co-op missions, so of course I called up Aaron, who helped me complete my final Watch Dogs achievement. These were the same as the earlier contracts, and we were able to complete all 10 in 45 minutes. However, of course, the final one didn't go too smoothly.
They all been marked?
Kill only the 3 targets. Okay, we can only kill the 3 people. I'll kill the Juggernaut with the explosive.
Watch it.
Okay.
Wait,
I got this guy?
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Oh no.
Oh. I'm sorry. I was
You're on go. I respect it.
You saw me though. I didn't give no fuck.
Nah, yeah, you went in there. That was really impressive, actually. Run, run, run. Oh, we don't have many options of cars. We have to take this.
There's a car over there.
Oh, we got reinforcements.
Do it.
Get in, get in.
I don't get the guys.
No.
Oh. Why did you say escape the area?
I know. I thought that's why I wasn't shooting, because I figured I was gonna run him over. But okay, now we know that we can.
Why could I not kill anybody?
That is very dumb. I agree. I've never played a mode where you can't kill anyone. And finally, after finishing the 10th co-op contract, it was over. Or so I thought. For some reason, Watch Dogs only tracked 7 of the 10, so after doing 3 more, I finally got the achievement. This game is so dumb. It made me do it 14 times. It's done though. A final trophy in Watch Dogs. Again, shout out to Aaron, and definitely go check out and sub to his channel. Link will be in the description. Finally, after 50 plus hours, I finally 100%ed Watch Dogs. This was honestly a really great game and was a lot of fun. The story was great and the city environment was a lot of fun to explore. As for the 100% itself, there were a ton of tedious trophies that got old quickly. However, I don't think that took away from the overall experience. If anything, I think it made this 100% even more rewarding. While I've already played Watch Dogs 2, I'm excited to go back and get the 100%. So stay tuned for that video coming very, very soon. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to check out Aaron's channel and check out one of his videos on screen right now. Thanks for all the support this year. It's been a great year for the channel, and expect even bigger videos in 2025. But until the next one, peace.